If your small business received a COVID economic injury disaster loan during the pandemic, then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Trevor, your EIDL expert. Please take a moment to like and subscribe. I'm going to say that a lot because, we have to. Today's video is an HAP update for the new SBA Short-Term Payment Assistance Program. And with YouTube comments we've been seeing, it looks like folks are getting results. Or are they? Is it easy peasy? Because results are literally the only thing worth talking about. We're going to discuss that briefly. We're also going to talk to you about how there are no human beings answering the phone on the COVID loan phone line anymore. The good news, or so it seems, is that SBA is approving small business owner COVID borrower requests for short-term payment assistance. These comments appearing on some of our recent videos would seem to indicate that the SBA is making it easy to get approved for the new short-term payment assistance program, a mouthful of words to replace the HAP, Hardship Accommodation Program. Even the full name, Hardship Accommodation Program, is still easier to say than short-term payment assistance. Come on, join me. Let's say it 5 times fast. You ready? Go. Short-term payment assistance, short-term payment assistance, short-term payment assistance, short-term payment assistance, short-term payment assistance. Okay, listen, that doesn't really count. That's not fair. I'm a professional. Okay. HAP. See how that just rolls off the tongue? For the last 2 years, SBA has made it fairly easy for a small business owner to request hardship accommodation and to be approved for it. Even if your loan was greater than $200,001, I have to say $200,001 because some troll called me out on, why do you say it's $200,000 or more? Okay, because, we're all slicing and dicing my words with the free advice that I'm giving to you, Mr. Troll. Anywho, I digress. If your loan was $200,001 or greater, then your HAP request would have required a submission of a profit and loss statement and a signed application. Generally speaking, SBA made the process somewhat easy. I mean, I processed quite a few dozen of those for our clients. Wait, did I say dozen? No, a couple of hundred of those. And ran into the occasional SBA bureaucratic dysfunction. But overall, the program was designed to help you small business owners manage cash flow issues for a total of 6 months at a time, consecutively joined together for a total of 2.5 years. But on March 19th, the SBA said, we're done with that. And then in the last couple of weeks, they came out with no announcement, no fanfare, no press release, and it just magically appeared that if you happened to send an email to the SBA asking for help, you'd get this email in response saying, yeah, short-term payment assistance, and you have to provide a written explanation as to why this is a temporary problem with cash flow and what your plan is to overcome this temporary problem. And they're only giving you 6 months of reduced payments. When you have to do that much work to do a written explanation and make this representation of the government that you have a problem that's only temporary, number one, and that you can overcome it in 6 months, that's a pretty big challenge. It's a tall order, I think, for most folks in the current economic environment to respond to. Maybe written explanation and maybe SBA is giving you 12 months or 18 months of payment assistance. But no, that's not how the SBA does things, as we all know. And that leads me to the bad news about this new short-term payment assistance program. And here's the bad news. Are you ready? Okay, are you sitting down? Here it comes. SBA. Yeah, that is, of course, the ongoing problem with COVID EIDL borrowers who try to get anything done with the Small Business Administration. Linda Ray and I are here helping you all with these videos, with our consulting services during and after the pandemic, with the 1-hour calls that we offer in our calendar, with the EIDL Resource Hub. We are here solely because it is so difficult for you, the small business owner, to navigate the obstacles that the SBA puts in your way to try to get anything done. Except for this bureaucratic dysfunction, there is literally no reason for Linda Ray and I to exist as EIDL experts. And we became experts by processing thousands of transactions during the pandemic and after the pandemic, and dealing with day in and day out good experiences at SBA and horror show experiences at SBA. As recently, by the way, as today, while I'm recording this video. Yeah, just a few minutes ago, one of our clients who hired us to assist with a disaster loan for the LA wildfires received notification that the SBA had declined her application 3.5 months after she submitted it. Why did they decline it? SBA stated she is ineligible due to recovery from other sources. There we go with that strange language again. Why can't you just say that in plain English? You got money from your insurance company and you're ineligible. Okay, hang on a second. I'm trying really hard to not lose my brains exploding the top of my skull and brain matter all over the ceiling of our dining room here and all over our lovely fireplace. The disaster loan program, from my reading of the SBA guidelines, is designed to give people the money they need to make up for losses. You notice something that was burned to a crisp in a wildfire after the insurance company pays. And whatever the insurance company covers, great. But whatever the insurance company doesn't cover, that's why you go to the government to borrow money at an interest rate and a loan that you've got to pay back. It's not free money. Why does the SBA behave like this COVID loan you got and these disaster loans? Why do they behave like it's free money? They make you all crazy. This is not a grant. It's a loan. And so now for that client, we've got to submit what's called a reconsideration request, and we've got to provide documentation showing, hey, here's the total losses, here's what the insurance company paid, and here's how much money the borrower needs. Yeah, the borrower needs. She's got to borrow money to replace possessions, a vehicle that were lost due to a horrendous wildfire. Good work, SBA, once again. And that leads me to my next point about the short-term payment assistance program. These comments would have you believe that it is easy peasy. But I live in a world, going back to my mortgage career as a mortgage loan officer, where I worked on 100% commission. The loan didn't close. I didn't get paid. I come from a world where results are the only thing worth talking about. One of those clients booked a 1-hour consulting call with me. He paid for my time and knowledge because, to quote him directly, and I'm going to read it right from the paper where I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget it while I was doing the video. He, quote, wanted to get his request for short-term payment assistance. He wanted to get it right. He knew that with the SBA, very often you only get one shot. And if you don't do it right, well, for this client, failure was not an option. He needed a result. He'd been making his payments on time. He has requested and been approved for previous hardship accommodation program assistance, and he needed this additional few months because, thanks to the SBA's HAP program, he was able to arrive at a place where he had cut expenses and had put into place new marketing schemes to bring more revenue in. Something we talk about here all the time, or we talk about frequently on our other YouTube channel, Simple Sense for Small Business. He knew his plan was working. He had cut the expenses. That was putting more cash on the bottom line, but he hadn't arrived at the point yet where the marketing investment was paying off and seeing the improvement in revenue. He's months away from this. And so he is an ideal candidate for this short-term payment assistance program. And he could not afford to gamble with one iota of SBA bureaucratic nonsense. This was new territory for me because I had not heard of this program other than one other person just a few days before. And I brought to the table with that client all of my knowledge about the SBA, my knowledge from being a mortgage banking loan officer for 30 years, to try to anticipate what SBA might ask for. The primary issue we dealt with was writing the explanation letter. And so I assisted him with that based upon the fact patterns of his business. And I gave him very specific language. There were some words he wanted to use, and I said, don't use that word. Use this word. Use this language instead. And then the second element was me trying to guess, okay, if you send in the explanation letter, because that's all the SBA was asking for, what else might they ask for? And I gave him a list of items that he should prepare and how those items that he prepares support his explanation for the cash flow issue and his plan for recovery. Because this is what they want in the short-term payment assistance program. They want you to tell them why it's only temporary cash flow issue and that you have a plan and what is the plan to overcome that. As a result of the conversation with that client, we created the video about the update that so many of you have been watching. And again, we thank you for subscribing to our channel as a result of that video. And as a reminder, if you are not already subscribed, please do so right now and click on the bell for notifications, and be sure, please, to hit the thumbs up. When you hit the thumbs up, it's not just you telling us that you like the video. You're telling YouTube that the video has value to you. And because the video has value, YouTube will then share this video and our other videos with more small business owners just like you. And please, don't think that we get paid a lot of money for these videos. We don't. The amount of money we earn from these videos does not even cover our grocery bill, okay? But we believe in the advice that we're giving to you, and apparently over 13,000 of you believe in that as well. So please, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and hit the thumbs up telling YouTube that this video is important and YouTube should share this with more small business owners who got the COVID EIDL. To recap, Short-Term Payment Assistance Program, STAP. STAP, is that right? No, STAP. You've got to tell SBA this problem you have is only temporary. You've got to tell them what your plan is. You have to put that in writing and sign it and send that to the SBA. Are they going to ask for other documents? So far from the feedback we've seen from people in these comments in our YouTube videos, it seems to be very easy. But if you are somebody who does not gamble, as with the client who booked the 1-hour call with me, and you want time, you can click on the link in the description and book a 1-hour paid consultation call with me. The calendar is open Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the month of May, and I'll answer your questions about this issue or any other COVID EIDL or disaster loan related issue. Or you can purchase our downloadable guide, which is priced much lower than the cost of a 1-hour call, and you can click on the link in the description. That guide brings to you all of the information that I shared with this client on the phone about how to write the letter, how to use the right language in the letter, and what documents the SBA might ask for. That not only should you have them available, prepare them in advance, but those documents need to support the letter that you write to submit to the SBA to request short-term payment program assistance. And finally, thanks to this YouTube comment, we have come to understand that the SBA has removed all human beings from the COVID Loan Servicing Center phone number. It's now an automated phone menu, very limited compared to what it used to be. And you can't get anybody on the phone about your COVID loan anymore. No. SBA wants you to send emails or access the send a message feature on the My SBA portal, which in my professional opinion, as of today, I just used it a few minutes ago for our disaster loan client. This is the most underwhelming feature of pretty much everything the SBA does these days. And I say underwhelming. I'm not even talking about SBA bureaucratic dysfunction and obstacles such as declining a disaster loan for somebody in LA who lost everything, saying that you got insurance money, have a nice day. Yeah, no human beings to answer your questions. Each of you have different situations. You have different experiences with the lending world, with borrowing money, with dealing with creditors, with dealing with business operations. And in my experience, based upon people booking 1-hour calls with me, going all the way back to the pandemic, I've spoken to thousands of you, and you all have different approaches to your business, different approaches to the loan program, and nuance and subtlety about your story that cannot be managed in any email. I mean, has SBA read any of those stories like on Inc.com about the nightmarish hellscape of email communications in the corporate world? 73 emails on a given Tuesday afternoon just to learn that the restroom has run out of toilet paper. And now SBA wants you to solve all of your problems with your COVID loan, answer all of your questions with your COVID loan with an email? If you have read as many SBA emails as I have, you know that that is a train wreck waiting to happen. I don't know who's making these decisions. Oh, wait, yes, I did. Somebody who was not successful at business, according to her history. Okay, but what do I know? This need to make the SBA more efficient by removing people from the phone. Not that SBA reps on the phone were always the best, but with the experience that I've had, if you were prepared for the call very often, you could be successful. But generally speaking, as a rule, we told you, don't call the SBA. Well, now SBA is telling you can't call, period, end of discussion. If you want to call somebody and you want to book a call, click on the link in the description. I'm exhausted from this video. We were having a really nice day here in Connecticut. We went out, we had a nice breakfast. We had to swerve the car because there was a turtle crossing the road. Thanks for tuning in, and please be sure to like and subscribe if you want to get our guidebook on requesting short-term payment assistance so that you can get it right on the first shot. Click on the link in the description if you want to book a 1-hour call. The calendar is open for the month of May, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Click on the link in the description. And last but not least, the EIDL Resource Hub. We are working to update this thing, and it's going to be mind-blowing about how much better this is than the original version, which was already pretty damn good if you ask my personal opinion. And I know you didn't, but I'm telling you, you might want to purchase that now before the price increases substantially. Link in the description. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time around.